Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-month readings. As always, keep in mind that this is just a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences at this time. Also, if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. So, Sagittarius, this is a very important time that spiritually and probably physically you're going through. It's very karmic and very intense, but at the same time is bringing you to a full circle type of energy, closure of a phase of your life that can end in a good note if you do allow it so. Because you have three major cards represented here as your main opportunity, your main challenge, and your advice. There's a big emphasis for you to pay attention to the signs around you, to what's going on around you, to how you have been feeling, because all of that is an ongoing process to get you to the understanding of a certain lesson, a certain experience that needs to be understood, released, and built up again. It's like you're making this closure, the end of this phase, so you can begin a new one. And this new one has to be built from different type of foundations than the previous one. And maybe this is what is being felt as threatening or scary, because it implies again the same theme that has been following you from April, to get to the truth, get to the bottom of truth, get to the real understanding of your system of beliefs, get to the real understanding if those beliefs are yours, if where you are emotionally, physically, mentally, it's really who your essence is calling you to be and embrace. So there's here a little bit of a swing between things ending and could be ending in a good note with success, realization after that hard work that you have been putting, which is your main opportunity over this mid-month is the World card. So you can find a sense of completion, a sense of fulfillment and realization with the world, your environment, how things are going on around you. If you have been working on that advice, which is the Tower, if you have been working on your ability to understand your path and the truth of it, and not being afraid to release yourself from situations that are not in resonance with that truth of yours, with your will to follow a path in life that you feel more in control of, that you feel more in connection with. So it's interesting that you have a card talking about completion, realization, success, feeling very content with your world and what your world contains. And then you have an advice to not fear change, to embrace change, to look at your foundations, to look at the heart of the matter within situations. And if things fall apart, if there's things that are being stripped away from your life, if things end, if things change, to let them, because this is what will allow this beautiful full circle energy to happen. And I feel that you have this push and pull between the sunny side of life and the dark night of the soul at this time. So you have this beautiful emphasis in finding a life on your own, that it's quite in terms of achievement, in whichever type of achievements you value with the world, it's that whole completion of any aspects of life. But it's that sense that you can achieve something when you really put your heart, your mind, and your soul into it. You know that you will be successful. You know that's what success means to you, which is to try, to always try, despite the fear of failure, despite the fear of losing things, despite the fear of the unknown. It's that heartbeats, um, confidence that you have that allows you to just go, to be the wanderer of this beautiful world. And this is where you have this big, juicy opportunity in the mid-month of May, even though I have to say, because you have three major cards, it's possible that this energy is going to be uh, that is going to be all over May and June and so forth, because this is very important life lessons. These are very spiritual oriented cards. They can manifest themselves in many different ways, but they always have a type of energy that can be with you for a long time, because we don't necessarily embrace and understand and learn lessons of this importance in 2 weeks. And of course that this can be something that has been with you for some time, and I believe it does, and I believe that with the World card is exactly telling you that, as is also a card associated with Saturn, and Saturn is in Sagittarius right now. So there's a lot of push and sometimes a feeling of contraction that for Sagittarius can be difficult to embrace, because you're all about expansion and freedom, and you are learning to work here with a more restricted type of boundaries, but it's so that you can understand where those roots and foundations have not been properly nurtured and taken care of before. So, and Sagittarius is really associated with your belief systems and understanding again the deep bottom of truth that they have, and if they still have a purpose in the life that you are designing at this time. Because just because they did before, it doesn't mean that with the shifts and changes that you are going through, they still do. And so sometimes there's a need to make this adaptation, and that's exactly what the Tower is telling you. Embrace the unexpected. If you do feel in conflict within yourself, which I believe you do, as you do have as well the Chariot in the challenge, control issues and feeling maybe tense and in pressure, which direction do I go? Do I have the power and the will to make this happen? Maybe you are pushing too hard to go into a path before realizing if that path is one that really carries a sense of uh, truth and connection with that deep, intimate inner self of yours that is wanting to blossom new, that is wanting to go from a lightness, that is going to go towards the direction of a lightness of being. But before you can reach that, there's still work to be done. So the Chariot in the challenge is just telling you that you need to pay attention to your control issues first, to where you might be too stubborn, or where you might be doubting, on the other hand, your ability to be in control of yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your ability to embrace and understand what life is giving you. It can go both ways, from both extremes. From an extreme self-arrogant confidence, where you don't listen and you just want to go the direction that you want to go without questioning if that's the truth of where you're supposed to be, if that comes from a heart space decision. And the other extreme can be a complete disbelief in your willpower to feel strong and regain control of your spirit. of your sense of not being so overwhelmed by these changes and this karmic lessons in situations and this closure and contraction that you feel completely powerless. It's putting things in order, it's putting things in perspective, it's putting a lot of reflection into it, and just allowing things to unfold. I wouldn't say that the mid-month for May, it's a time for you to put too much pressure into things. The more you put more pressure into things, the more they can end up being resulting a little bit in a disturbance type of energy, because you are here learning to go a little bit with the flow in terms of embracing the fact that maybe you haven't been looking at things from the right angle in terms of the understanding the bigger picture of what's going on. And so sometimes the tower has to intervene so you can um, gain that clarity. Yes, it can be a shock to the system, it can be scary, it can be unsettling, it can be just shocking, because it's going to prove to you, probably, or it's going to push you to understand that you were not listening and that you were building things where there was not that hard Saturn foundation work, and you need to check in again with the truth of the matter so you can be assured that this beautiful world, your environment, your achievements are really there to put you in the track of success, which they are. And this is what you can achieve: closure with a positive note, feeling protected, feeling blessed, even in chaos, even in the unexpected. Because once you learn that the unexpected, it's a constant in everyone's life, you no longer fear it. And if you no longer fear it, you are blessed with that sense of I am at peace with myself all along. And you have come far. Don't forget that. Doesn't matter what type of experiences you went through, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know that you had a long journey. And now it's time to maybe accept that that journey has ended and not fear going into a new one. So, Sagittarius, I hope you have a great mid-month. Thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. And hopefully, we'll see each other soon.